Hi cuties, besties, and ghosties. This is Muertera. Welcome to my channel, Muertera. I am so happy to have you here. To all of my returning folks and friends, welcome back. It is so nice to see you again. For all of my new folk, welcome. I hope you will hang out with us and stick around. Today I have a very cute reading for you. This is one of my favorites. We are going to be looking at your love life in the next 30 days. I love this one because we do a kind of overall energy check for your life at the beginning of it. So we'll look at your current energy. We'll look at the energy that's coming into your life, the energy that's leaving your life, and really, drill down into how that is going to impact your love life. I think something that I really love about this channel and about all of my friends who come and hang out with me is that y'all are really interested in spiritual development and personal development. And I can see that in my readings and see it in the cards. And I think that's just so beautiful because that's something that I'm really passionate about and interested in. And I love seeing how much you all grow and all of the triumphs you go through. So this is a really beautiful reading and I'm really excited to share it with you. For those of you who haven't done a pick a pile reading before, we have 3 piles. Each one is a different reading. At any point you can click down into the description box and, if you've chosen your pile. Otherwise, we'll have a section where I go through all of the piles and I play a singing bowl and you'll have a little bit of time to kind of meditate and dig into the energies. So yeah. I think that's it for the intro. Thanks for sticking with me so far, and I will see you in the pick a pile section. Okay, bye. Hi cuties. So this is your pick a pile section. Our first pile, we have this quartz point. I love this one because it goes light to dark. I feel like this is a stone for me about really getting clear on yourself, your values, and really focusing on integration of self. And then we have the YinYang Tarot, and this is the white cat version. One of my personal favorites. I love the kitties. They're so cute. Our middle pile, we have the Santa Muerte Tarot, and we have a piece of amethyst. Amethyst is a super great stone for cleansing just all around. You can cleanse other stones with it. So I think, think cleaning up your life, getting focused, really kind of, I don't know if it's a general purpose stone, but I feel like it's more like kind of finding a purpose for me. And also is supposed to keep you from getting drunk. Apparently. I don't know though. I don't think it works that well for that. But the ancient Greek might disagree with me. Maybe they had much larger amethyst stones that they were wearing. So our third pile, we have the skeleton tarot. And we have this little Dalmatian jasper friend. Dalmatian jasper is just such a cute, playful stone. And I love just the light and dark. And I feel like that's kind of reflected in the cards as well. So definitely kind of, I feel like this pile like has a bit of like a balancing energy to it. Yeah, these are our 3 piles. I'm going to go ahead and play the singing bowl for y'all right now. Okay. So before we get to the readings, I want to bring out a little offering for our spirits, for the muertos that walk with us and guide us throughout our lives. Thank you so much for being here. This is a small offering for you as thanks. Just thank you for everything that you bring to us, for the guiding light that you give us, for the advice that you give us through the cards, for the ability for me to be able to come here and channel these beautiful energies, and for all of my friends to be able to come here and listen. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you. We all love you, and we are all so grateful. Okay, friends. So if you're ready, go ahead and click over to your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Okay? Bye! Hi, Pile Ones! If you chose this Quartz Point and the YinYang Tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to start out with some oracles just to get a sense of the energy that's going on in your life. And yeah, let's get into it. I'm excited for this reading. So just as a pleasant reminder at the beginning of this, this is a general reading, so not everything will apply to you. So if there's something that doesn't feel right, feels a little bit off, just doesn't make sense to you, then, you do not have to take everything. Definitely, leave things if they're not resonating with you. I think I'm going to start with a different deck. I pulled out a different one and I want something different. And I'm kind of feeling maybe you're a little bit in this energy too as well. Just kind of maybe taking a little bit of a left turn in your life right now, or trying things out that are new and unexpected a little bit. It's kind of energy that I'm feeling already. So today we're going to ask about the energy that is leaving your life and the energy that is coming in. And then we'll ask a little bit about what is on the horizon and love for you in the next 30 days. Let's start out with our first oracle. Whoops, that was a lot of cards. I'm going to take this one. Okay, so we have Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. I feel like you are very protected right now in whatever you're doing right now. I'm just looking at this figure, and it is just sitting in this little bubble of light, just minding its own business. And this kind of goes into like this kind of left turn energy that I was feeling before. Still feeling really. It feels like whatever choices you make right now, they're really there to put you on your path. And it doesn't really matter like where they go. You could be trying things out that maybe don't work out. Maybe, you take a turn, try something out for a while, and you decide like it's not for you. Maybe through career, maybe in school, things like that. Or even just dating around. And really I'm being called to tell you that it's not for you about the destination right now. It really is about the journey. Like you are in this protected bubble getting experiences that are going to move you in the direction that you need to go. So I think for you it's interesting. There's this kind of like dichotomy energy here where you're learning to be human. You are having all of these human experiences. But I think it's actually bringing you closer to connection, to spirit, to God, and ultimately the path that's going to lead you to your person. And I think it's through, and this is the frustrating part, I think this is honestly through finding things that you don't align with, or trying them out, thinking that they're maybe for you, and then realizing through the process that it doesn't match you on the inside. And you may have kind of gone through some more like superficial energies, or people who are very, very 3D, and you're really finding out that you are so much more than that. And I think it's through a process of comparison that you're finding that. Okay, let's ask about the energy that is leaving for you right now. Oop. Okay, we have the crone in reverse, and the energy that is coming in. I'm going to pull 2 more cards for you. I want to know a little bit more about the current energy that you're in. Oh, and I pulled another little rainbow for you. I love rainbows. And you're on a journey right now. Like there is a pot of gold at the end of it. There's like a hand that's waiting to be outstretched. Okay, and then we have volcano. Yeah, I feel a bit of impatience for this group right now. Like, and I have totally been in this space where, you know, finding things that don't serve you, but struggling to find the thing that does serve you is a very frustrating process to go through. And you may have felt like isolated or cranky at times, or feeling like, you know, I'm not really of this world and it's hard for me to come out and engage with people and really put myself out there, or just honestly a feeling of like feeling drained. I do kind of get that maybe for some of you, where I feel like you've put a lot of effort out into like trying to find your person, or, you know, trying to find the right relationship. And it does feel like there has been a lot of energy expended in this pile. And maybe some feelings that like that energy hasn't paid off as much as you'd like it to. And Spirit's really saying like, yes, there's like this sadness around it, about feeling kind of isolated and feeling out of place and not finding your place. Spirit is really saying like, the way to get out of this energy is to really go within and to kind of stop fighting the tide. It's like, it's almost like you need to start looking at life and like looking at your romantic prospects as almost like, I don't want to say like gamify it so much, but look at it through like a lens of hope. Like, you know, there can be a lot of sadness kind of going through this process and evaluating at each step. Like, okay, well, this one didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Oh, this one doesn't feel right. Like that one didn't feel right either. And I think Spirit really wants you to like, almost like meter your hope a little bit. Keep more for yourself. Like don't put so much into another person, but really like focus on just creating like really fun and beautiful life experiences for you. Like maybe you are going out on first dates and they're not working out. Well, just like make the most of that first date in the moment, whether it's a good first date or whether it's something that like you go and unpack with your girlfriends later and have a laugh about it. This bridge is interesting because I feel like Spirit is almost saying like you need to create this rainbow bridge within yourself and really like put that magical energy into your life. And when people see you having fun and people see that you're kind of beaming from the inside and honestly like showing your unique spirit, they will be attracted to it. And it's slowly going to be bring in people that really align with you and align with the way that you think. And you're going to come to the point where it's not just you kind of floating alone in this bubble. It's all of these interconnected spheres of light floating together. But I think you've been going through a purging period, and I think there's a lot of learning that comes along with it. Like both volcano and sadness, it's about pushing energies out of your life. And so, you know, this is really where you're at right now. If this resonates, we're going to move on to tarot. If this is not feeling like it resonates, definitely pick a different pile. This is probably like a little bit more of a specific message. Like I'm hearing kind of like anachronistic, like feeling a little bit out of time. So if that is not the energy that you find yourself in right now, we got 2 more piles. Haven't filled them yet, but I'm sure they're going to be great. And this is also like, this is great energy, right? This is a beautiful confirmation from Spirit. And we got the Page of Wands, like Spirit saying, go adventure, have fun, like have fun. And I know that's hard sometimes. Like it's not a linear path, right? There are going to be some days where you're feeling down and you're feeling lonely. And there are going to be other days where you're like really at the top of the world. And I think Spirit's just saying like, save the best for yourself. Okay, what is coming next for our beautiful pile ones and love? Okay, well, we got the Page of Cups. Hell yeah. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Queen of Swords. This is telling me, like, again, that, like, you've been feeling a little bit down on your luck. And part of the reason why I am reading on top of my oracles, which I don't normally do, is I'm kind of going left to right in time pattern. And I feel like I'm always referring back to the oracles anyway. This is just kind of like the feeling of unknown, of things not working out, of almost feeling like the bitter sides of life, but like not the sweet ones. See what you're curious, this Tower energy over the sadness too. Like, I wonder if for some of you, like something right now isn't working out. Yeah, we have like, okay, we got a King of Cups in reverse, and then we got a King of Wands. This is coming together a little bit more. So yeah, for some of you, you may have had somebody either recently, or someone that you kind of like dwell on. Oh, this is the 9 of Cups. Yeah. So the Wish card. And it may have been kind of like a more juvenile love than what you really deserve. And what really resonates with you and kind of calls to your spirit. This may have caused, a really hard breakup to go through, or a lot of like disappointment. I feel like there's this general feeling of kind of like disappointment of not feeling like things are working out for you in the way that like you had planned or you had wanted. But you have to remember, like, this pile in particular, I feel like you are a spiritual person, and there may be degrees in the like space that you are right now in your spiritual practice. Like, you may have just discovered this. You may have kind of gone through multiple cycles of this, and just know that this is all in service of you finding your match. Finding somebody who can match your fire. Because another thing that I'm seeing is we have the volcano in reverse, and then we have the sadness. It's almost like the connections that you have experienced right now, it's just been water kind of putting out your fire. And really, like, you're meant to float above the water. We have this like burning circle above water. And we have this other bridge where there's light above the water. Like, you're supposed to be in symbiosis with your emotions, and with your feelings. And it feels like the disappointment sometimes in love and in feelings is almost like quenching your internal fire a little bit. And Spirit wants you to like remember that spark, like remember to keep the light for yourself. To not give so much power to, especially somebody if they didn't, meet your expectations or meet you where you're at. Because I feel like this person didn't get you. They didn't get you where you were going. They didn't get kind of the spiritual nature of this life. And that person was a learning experience for you. It may have been a wish, but it was a temporary wish. Like, that wasn't the rest of your life. That isn't the partner that you're going towards. And you're going to get there. Like, this is a clear message. Keep going. That person that matches your spark is out there for you. And it might take a little bit. Like, this isn't going to be an overnight process, but the more that you can kind of work through these heavier energies and this disappointment and like stoke that inner fire, find things that fill your cup, like really truly be you, the more you're going to attract people around you. And I keep telling my friends this, like, the best way to meet people is to make friends and then meet their friends. Like, I feel like that's something that's a little bit missing in, like, quote unquote, like, modern day dating. I feel like people like rely on apps and connections where like you don't really know the person. You can't vet them at all. You don't have anybody to vouch for them. They're just truly a stranger. And sometimes that works, right? Like, sometimes you meet somebody like at the grocery store and you date them, or, you know, in line at a concert. But I feel like we're almost like missing that like additional commonality, like, I don't know, thread in between our friend groups. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that you need to bring in. Like, start attracting new people. Go out, like, meet new people, like, physically in real life. Like, the King of Wands, that's a real life dude. Like, that's somebody who's like going out and doing shit, not sitting at home on the computer. Like, not like this isn't like the fuckboy on Tinder, you know? Like, this is somebody who is living their life, living it to the fullest, and really is driven and knows what they want. And that's how you're going to find this person. You're going to find this person pursuing your passions and getting out there in the real world and doing things that you care about. And the beautiful thing about that is doing those things will also stoke that inner fire and attract this person. It's like energy that kind of builds on each other. So the more that you can go out and do things that you love, the greater chance that you're going to attract friends, like partners, people around you that also share those interests. So yeah, I mean, this is a super beautiful reading for the next 30 days for you. I'm really excited. Let me know how you're doing. You're getting huge hugs from not only me, but all of your spirits right now. Like, they really want to emphasize, like, you are truly this just shining ball of light, like, going through the universe and finding your path, and you're going to get there and you're going to meet your match, and it's going to be fucking beautiful. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. This was so fun, so cute. If this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. That always helps me grow my channel. Above all, keep your little heart safe, and I will see you in another reading. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile 2s. If you chose this little amethyst crystal and the Santa Muerte Tarot, this is your reading. I'm going to pull these off to the side for a second while we do some oracles. So I'm going to ask kind of a lot about the energy that you are in right now. So we'll first pull some cards in the middle about your current energy. On the left will be energy that's leaving, and then on the right will be energy that's coming in. I like to take a look at kind of the energies that are playing around your dating life and your love life, just to see what's at play, what messages Spirit has for you. And then we'll pull some tarot cards to see like what specifically is going on in the next 30 days, given our base analysis, I guess we can call it. I feel like I'm being very verbose in this pile, so I feel like either y'all are a little nerdy, or your future partner is, or maybe a little bit of both. I'm also hearing like a little bit of analysis paralysis. I get that. I feel you. Yeah, I think one thing to just keep in mind, this is a general reading, so if something doesn't resonate, please, don't force it. Some messages may be, meant for somebody else. So I'll try to call out the ones that are pretty specific, but yeah, just know that you are not forced to take any message that doesn't feel like it really aligns with you. Let's get started. So first we're going to pull your current energy. And we have Wraith, longing for home and homesick for the stars. Okay. I just heard like to be or not to be. I do feel like there is an energy in this pile of maybe like focusing on what should be or what could be and kind of dreaming for the future and really thinking about what's going to happen. I do think that, part of this feels like, and I got this energy a little bit in pile 1 too. Like there is a little bit of homesickness, right? And you're watching a reading about love. So I think probably for the majority of you haven't found your person yet, or maybe like you have some options around. I feel like there are options around you, but maybe they don't feel quite right. Like there's this feeling of just like not meeting your match. And I do think that like you are a very charismatic person. I think a lot of people are drawn to you. Like you're a very, very bright light. And I think you're a very like specific bright light too. Like almost like you have a very unique imprint. And your energy is like just like very alluring and attractive. I think maybe what is frustrating for you is that you don't feel like, you feel that people are drawn to you, but you don't feel that sense of draw and allure towards another person, or you really haven't in your life. Maybe like one other person, maybe like 2 other people, but it seems like you're really looking for that kind of like energy in somebody else. And it is a little bit of a struggle. So I do think there's a little bit of a tendency to kind of like dream and look forward and try to think about life would be, what life would be like when you meet that person, rather than like really like basking in your eternal glory. Like, I feel like Spirit is like, you need to bask in your own glory. That's really the biggest message that I'm getting right now. It's kind of funny. Y'all got some wild muertos. Like they are like, I don't know, I got this in the first pile too. They want all of you just to have freaking fun, I feel like we do get down in this, okay, that's far too many. We get down in this society if we don't have a person, especially by a age. So we have Bardo. I'm going to take the animal too. And the shadow. Okay, I'll take all of them. I'm going to take all of them. You got some witchy ass energy around you right now, and I'm here for it. And then for your future card, we have the heart in reverse. Look at these beautiful pinks and these like blacks in the left hand. Like truly, like hearing the song Heart of My Own by Bezia Bulat. Like it's just like a very like stirring song. And I feel like you're moving into this period of just really like a lot of lightness in your heart space. And it's not necessarily directed towards another person. It's really like, sometimes I read these reversals as internal versus external, or blocked or unblocked. This feels like it is blooming, but internally. And I feel like you're stepping into this spot where like you already have been charismatic and alluring and attractive, and all eyes are on you in the room. Even if you feel like you are the scrubbiest version of you, if you're in like nasty sweatpants and you're just like running to the grocery store and your hair is a mess, like people watch you. And I feel like they can see this about you always, but you don't see this about you always. Like you don't really understand like the majestic person that you are. And I feel like this next space is really you kind of getting in contact with your heart space and really learning to harness that attraction and that magnetism and really get that to take root in your current here and now. Like there is this feeling that, I don't know, like I see this person gazing into the future, but when I look at these cards, like the Bardo, the animal, the shadow, I feel like these are cards and energies that are almost like rooted in the past. And you may like, you may have been doing a lot of like third eye meditations. That's like something that is coming up for me right now. I just got tingles when I said that, so somebody's been doing it. I feel like third eye meditations, I think a lot of work with like ancestors or inner child healing, kind of like diving into the darker aspects of yourself to heal it. And I think while that has been like really, really amazing, it's put you in this place where like it almost feels like to counteract all of the kind of deep work that you've been doing that's very retrospective and analytical, like that analysis part is kind of coming back, like very analytical of the past. Like, how did I get here? What are my patterns? Like, I feel like that's the animal. Like, what are my patterns? How do I respond to things? What's a trauma-based pattern? How do I get out of that? Like, this has put you in a very like past looking stage, really analytical, almost like to the point where it's too much. And I feel like that has been kind of counteracted by you, on one hand, looking at the past and trying not to recreate it, but on the other hand, really gazing towards the future and trying to focus on what's going to happen in 2 years, 10 years, what your life is going to look like, what your partner is going to look like. And Spirit is really saying like, okay, this energy has kind of like served you for a period of time. It was really great to look at the past and really analyze it and figure out what was going on. Get a hold of your shadow self, integrate all those lessons. But now like you're almost kind of, your focus is in two different places. It's in the past and in the future, as opposed to just being in the present. And this next phase of your love life that's going to be coming in the next 30 days is really like learning to sit in your heart space and sit in the here and now and listen to how you feel and what sparks joy, and start really seeing what other people are seeing about you in the present. Because I think your attention has been so future focused and so past focused that you're missing things that are happening in the here and now. And they're really good things. Like, this is not an everyday energy. Like, you are not an everyday person. It's pretty phenomenal. I'm really into it. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards, just for good measure. This is a good time. If this is feeling like the energy that you are in right now, we're going to move on to tarot. If this does not feel like your energy right now and not really resonating, we also have pile 1 and then pile 3. So great time to hop over. So, okay, I'm going to keep on reading though. These are kind of bonus cards. I feel like I got a pretty good read on your current energy. Yeah. And I think these are almost like just a little bit of a side note and confirmation from Spirit. So we have spirits to guide you, we have dependency, and we have growth. And like, I see this dependency card almost for you as like breaking the chains of like ancestral trauma. I kind of was feeling like a little bit of ancestral trauma from this Bardo card. And it's really just, it's your spirit saying like they have shown you the way, they have shown you and guided you through this process. Like, you are in the process of breaking these chains and you're moving to a period of like blossoming and growth. I think this is just validation, honestly, that you're on the right path. Like, what you have been doing is exactly what you've needed to do. And it's almost like a mentality shift. And I'm going to put this card up front because it is a full mentality shift for you. Like, you don't need to worry about the past anymore. Like, yes, like we still need to kind of unpack like the way that we react to things. And, you know, in a partnership, you have this other whole person to deal with as well. And, you know, dynamics between two people always bring things up, but they want you to know that like you are safe, you are good, like you're golden. It is time for you to like relax into all of the hard work that you've done and really let that energy blossom into your life. And it is blossoming. I just feel like sometimes maybe you feel like it's not blossoming. And it's a perspective thing. I think when we're really focused on the things that are wrong, that's all we see. And Spirit wants you to really focus on so much that is right. Like, there is so much about you that is so phenomenal and amazing. And we all need growth, right? Like, you are perfectly perfect just the way you are. And they're really commending you and bringing that to light. You got some like just cheerleaders, man. Like, your muertos are into you, into helping you. Like, they want you to succeed past any of your wildest dreams. Whew. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about Pile 2's next 30 days in love? Okay. So we have Temperance and the 8 of Candles, which is the 8 of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands as well, the Knight of Candles. We have the 4 of Wands in reverse. We have, what is this person? The Chariot in reverse. And the 4 of Cups. Okay. When I saw this Chariot in reverse, like, I just heard slow down. Slow down. Before we kind of unpack like everything, I think the 2 cards that jumped out at me the most here are the 4 of Wands in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. Like, and I heard slow down and also like the feeling of like your happiness is already here. Like, your feeling of homecoming and joy and celebration. Like, this is all energy that is here in your life to access right now. And this is part of the, no longer looking at like the past and the future so much, but really focusing on the here and now. It's like Spirit really wants you to recognize that you have a full, beautiful life. Like, there may be things that you want to change, and there may, like, you may want a partner, and you may want a family, and you may want all of these things. And you still have a really beautiful life. Like, you are still you, and you are so phenomenal. And that is something that like really, like, I can't like put enough emphasis on. We also start out this spread with Temperance as well. And Temperance for me is like a really interesting card. I'm a very impatient person. Like, the amount of patience I've had to exhibit in this past week, in this lifetime, is just unknown to my soul. And so Temperance for me is always about like balance and patience. And the fact that there's like 2 cups that are going back and forth. And I feel like for you, it's almost like this dichotomy of past and future kind of going back and forth. And really, like, it's meant for you to kind of marry that in the here and now and really like focus on it. And I keep on thinking about the book, The Power of Now. So if you have not read that before, it was really helpful for me to read, to really help with my anxiety when I would think about like the past and things that had happened to me, or things that I had done, or things that I had maybe not done perfectly, and really kind of let that go and let the blame go, and really accept that the only person that I am is the person in here and now. And I can prepare for the future. I can deal with the ramifications with the past, but I get the freedom to live in the here and now. And that freedom gives you so much. It gives you the ability to like feel joy and release kind of feelings of shame. Like, I feel like something that you may struggle with is like a little bit of almost like guilt. Oh, you know, I could be using my time for something more productive, but Spirit's really saying, like, if you're enjoying yourself in the moment and you've worked really hard, you set yourself up, you know, like say, okay, you have a hard day at work and you could put in like 2 more extra hours of work, but you already worked 8 hours and that work is going to be there tomorrow. So go have fun, relax. Like, you don't always have to be like preparing for the future. I really like this card. This 8 of Wands is very different. It's very like witchy. I feel like you do have this like underlying witchy energy. And I do feel like it's coming through your bloodline. So you may not know it, but you definitely have some witch blood in your past for sure. And it feels very earthy too. Like an earth-based practice. You may really align right now with mirror work. It's not something that I've really done too much of, and maybe I should, honestly. But I feel like for you, really seeing yourself. I think that Spirit really wants you to see yourself for who you are and really, really see yourself. I think mirror work, like light some candles, like make it cute, make it sexy, like sit in front of the mirror and just look at yourself and tell yourself you're beautiful. I think you really need to see what other people see in you. And we have the Knight of Wands here. And for me, the Knight of Wands is like action. I feel like if you really can learn to harness this amazing charisma that you have, and I think that like this month is going to jumpstart that ability to harness it and really fuel it and make it grow. You are going to be unstoppable in the attraction. The only caveat here, remember, is like you can't control who is attracted to you. And I say that out of love and out of a little bit of a warning, like make sure you got your filters up, because for you right now, what I see is I don't even see like, this isn't energy that's like gonna come in after like 30 days and slowly come in. It's like this energy is like bubbling up around you, and I feel like you haven't even realized like how freaking attractive you are. And you got like all these Knights of Wands just like this dude is just like creeping in the darkness with a hood up. Like I feel like there are a lot of people around you who are truly just like waiting for an opening right now. And I think you've been, and as I said that, like, I just flipped the 4 of crystals upright, which, oh, I guess that's the 4 of swords, not the 4 of wands. But, like, I guess you're coming out of hibernation and there is a butterfly on the forehead as well. So, like, this transformation for you learning your worth is going to be immediately noticed. And whatever is like waiting in the wings for you, like it's going to show up. So my guidance to you would just be practice discernment. I think you have some fun months ahead of you. I see this energy kind of like sticking with you, you know, once you cement this and solidify it and figure it out, like you're truly going to be a little bit of a monster, and I'm here for it. So let me know how that goes. I hope this resonated. If it did, please comment, like, subscribe. It really helps me grow my channel. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. This was really fun to sit in your energy, and like, holy hell, I want to see what you do and who you end up with. So above all, keep your little heart safe, and I will see you in another reading soon. Okay? Bye! Hi, Pile 3s! If you chose this little Dalmatian Jasper and our Skeleton Tarot, this is your reading. Okay, so we are going to start out with oracles. I'll be looking into just the overall energy that's kind of manifesting in your life right now. We'll start out with a couple of oracle cards. On the left, we're going to be looking at energy that is passing through your life and passing out of it. And then on the right, we'll be talking about energy that is kind of coming in and manifesting in the next 30 days. That'll be your good energy check. And then from there, we will move on to tarot. Just as a quick reminder, remember you are never forced to take any messages in these readings. This is a collective reading, so there may be messages that are for you. There may be messages that are for others here. So if something doesn't feel right, if it doesn't resonate, trust your gut, and don't take anything and try to force it if it doesn't feel right. So that's my little PSA. And let's get into the reading. So what is happening in love in your next 30 days, my friend? As I was shuffling in between readings, I was hearing the song, Where Do We Go From Here? From the Buffy musical, if anybody's a fan. I love that show. Okay, and we have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. This is feeling like there's like a little bit of a vibe here. There's been like slightly similar energies in all of the piles. I feel like for you, something has ended. Something has really like shifted for you. And I think this is going to differ across whoever it is, right? Like this is an energy. So for some of you, like this could be a breakup that happened. For some of you, this could be like the end of a chapter of your life and a big move. This could be maybe a career change, things are a little bit uneasy at work a little bit. And maybe some of you have experienced a layoff. I was laid off for a few months this year. Definitely a big perspective change. But I think whatever happened, whatever this has really kind of zoomed you out a little bit on your life. And I think you're taking a look at kind of the broader energies around you and really evaluating, like, is this truly what I want? I've been like so focused on the 3D parts of my life or these certain aspects that I haven't really like taken a look at my life as a whole in a really long time and really like figured out, how did I get here and where do I want to go? And I feel like you're really in that process of taking in as much information as possible. It's almost like quieting some things down in your life so you can really have that space to have introspection and really figure out what your next move is. Yeah, you may be spending a lot of alone time right now. I feel like in some cases, for some of you, you really are just kind of like quieting down the outside world. Like maybe you haven't been going out a lot, or you've been kind of like limiting your interaction with certain people that feel loud to you. So it for some of you, it might even be like shifting away from certain groups of friends or people that maybe you used to vibe with, and now kind of you're on a little bit shakier ground, or you're realizing that their energy kind of puts you in a little bit of like a flustered state. Like I feel like whatever you're kind of working through and quieting down in your life right now, it's because you've recognized that like it almost like heats up the energy within you and you kind of get a little bit frazzled, and you're trying to move away from that so you can really decide like what to do with that energy in your life, whether there's still space for it or whether there's not. Okay, so we are going to look at the energy that is passing, and we have the flame. See, it's kind of that like a little bit like internal, like I'm hearing dancing flame, frenetic energy, and then we're going towards the animal. It's interesting, the animal came out as energy that was passing out of pile 2's life. And I did shuffle in between, so I'm going to pull a couple more cards before I dive into this. Hearing like animalistic, like feel like your energy is like, it's getting like earthier and more stable. Like, you know, a flame flickers, it dances, it can go out. Like, a lot of things can kind of like manipulate it, and like, you know, you can, like, a gust of wind will blow it out or make it dance. Like, I feel like you kind of were in this kind of energy where external factors were really like impacting you and your energy. And I feel like this animal, like, there's kind of flowers around it. It's like almost like wearing this flower crown. It's a little bit hidden still. I feel like you're really like learning to kind of dodge, and like instinctively you're moving these things away that put you in an energy of like a little bit of upset maybe, like, or just it feels like a little bit frenetic. And it just like, when I look at the animal, it just feels very calm. And we have this blue earth that's just like this pin in the middle, and this like beautiful blue eye that's kind of a similar vibe too. It's like really just kind of getting down to basics. Like, what are the basics of your survival? What truly makes you happy? Like, what do you need in your life, and what are just like extras? And I feel like you're really learning that if the extra things are putting you in this frenetic, frantic state, then like maybe you don't really need them. Okay, and we have smother and the hold. And I don't generally read that deck upside down, but I kind of like it right now. And then we have death. Yeah. Like, you're almost, it almost feels like you're like slowly and silently just kind of like putting an end to things without like being very loud about it. Like, there is something that feels like very secretive, very like, very cocoony about this pile. Maybe you'll put it that way, because it does feel like you have just distilled your life and distilled the things around you to like the few things that you really need right now. And anything that smothered you, anything that was holding you back, like you've kind of just like put an end to. But there's a very like quiet, reserved, stoic, strong energy about it. And it feels very different than this kind of frenetic flame energy of the past. And I think like when you do choose to kind of come out of this cocoon state for people that you maybe have like cut off or let go, or situations, like you are going to be like a truly transformed person. And I think that energetically, they're going to have a really hard time mapping you. Like if you come into a group of people that you haven't seen for a while, they may be a little bit unsettled by your energy. And it's because your energy is like, it was strong before, but it was a little bit frenetic, a little bit frantic, a little bit bendable, a little bit kind of, you know, you were very, very sensitive to the energy around you. And I feel like now you are sensitive to your own needs and kind of like the rhythm of your own life. And that is going to be a very different vibe than people are used to. And they're going to notice that they are not able to impact your energy as much, especially for people that may have been a little bit more on the toxic side, whether this is an ex, whether this is friends. I'm getting some heavy friend vibes too, like coworkers, whoever you were around that was like putting you in this state, like they're going to notice that they don't have the same impact, and they're going to be like, whoa, like this is like a brand new person. And also just FYI, people are not going to like this in a lot of cases. And the ones that are not going to like it are the ones who took some weird sick satisfaction in like riling you up. So if somebody doesn't like this change, that is a pretty good indication that they had some behaviors that maybe were not super helpful for you to be around. Just a little side note from Spirit. I'm putting these friends under because they're passing. Okay, let's move on to tarot. So if this is resonating, definitely come join me in the tarot section. If this does not feel like the energy that you are in right now, we have 2 other piles. They were really cute. Definitely a lot of growth in both of them. So come join me there if this doesn't feel like the right energy for you. For everybody else, let's get into it. Spirit, what can you tell me about the next 30 days in pile 3's love life? Okay, so we have the Page of Swords and we have the Tower. I feel like the Tower, which way you want to go? Kind of to the side still, kind of still up, like... I wonder if the way that, like, people used to rile you up, too, is, like, by saying things to you. Like, maybe, like, saying messed up things that they knew would upset you, or kind of pushing your buttons on purpose. And I feel like that energy, that Tower is coming down, of them being able to do things like that and really have that power over you. And I feel like there is like a little bit of like a burnt toast energy to the people around you right now. And I feel like that might have something to do with some of you wanting to kind of like quiet down the outside and really get a better handle on how you feel. Okay, we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. We have the High Priest. Which is the Hierophant. I was like, that he looked Hierophant-y. And then the Ace of Cups. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I know I focused like a little bit, maybe a little bit too at length, like on this kind of perspective energy and the energy that's passing. I think it's important to kind of like bring that up though, because it will manifest in your love life. Like you still have this kind of lingering energy of these people falling out of your life or the situation falling out of your life. I think whatever period of introspection you're going through right now or reevaluating, I think the strongest energy in here is reevaluating people. And people can have a lot of definitions, right? Like it could be work related, like maybe you recently left a job because the people there were just mean. Or, you know, like you left a PhD program because the people there were also kind of mean and kind of cranky. There's a lot of cranky people, a lot of different places, right? But I think like more and more you're really learning to kind of disregard like other people's opinions or what they say and really like focus on yourself and what you want. The 3 of Wands is always an interesting card for me because this person is like in an energy of waiting, but also of anticipation for something to come in the future. But they're always holding one wand with 2 wands to the back. And for me, a lot of times, like this card can be about anticipating and waiting, but also kind of like ignoring the things that are around you. Like that could come up if somebody is like maybe in a relationship and they think that they can do better and they're kind of like waiting for the next opportunity. Or it can come up sometimes in maybe like third party situations where they kind of have 2 people on the hook. I feel like for you, like you're trying to figure out what your goal is. Like you're not necessarily 100% sure what ship you're waiting for. But I do feel like your focus right now is not on other people around you or what they want or letting them like rock your boat at all. Like you're really taking more ownership of your inner state, and separating yourself from people and places and situations that don't really match up with what you want. And you might not be fully aware of what you want or really be able to articulate it yet, but I think it's going to become bigger and brighter, like, as these 30 days go through. Like, something about this perspective card and this earth, like, I feel like it's almost like you're traveling back to earth after a period of time. And as you come in, earth is going to get bigger, and then you're going to get through the atmosphere, and then you're going to get down and land at your actual goal. And I feel like you're kind of in the process of homecoming to a certain extent, throughout these next 30 days. And then we have the High Priest, and we have the Ace of Cups. And, like, when I look at this card, I just hear standards. And I think that's so freaking beautiful. I think there's a really big emphasis here on, like, commanding and demanding the respect that you deserve and the treatment that you deserve. And this is such a powerful card, right? Like, I think the Hierophant, like, talks a lot about, like, traditional values. And for you, I think this is more like coming to a more balanced relationship within yourself, but then also within the dynamics of relationships and, like, the way that you demand to be treated. Like, the Hierophant doesn't tolerate disrespect. The Hierophant is a spiritual and religious leader, like, and expects that they are, like, treated as such, Like, if you've been going through circumstances where you haven't been treated super well by the people around you or by a relationship in the past, I think this is really, like, a coming home for you to figure out, like, okay, well, I know I deserve this, and I know I don't deserve this treatment, and I'm fully willing to say no if I don't get the treatment that I think I deserve. And this isn't, like, a spoiled mentality or something like that. It is about, like, spoiling yourself and saying, I deserve the best, right? But I think, like, your energy, like, you also, I think, strive to give the best. And if you're striving to give the best and somebody else is not also striving to give the best, then you are putting more into a situation than what you get out. And I see that energy closing in your life to where you're going to be attracting people who resonate with this new, more balanced version of yourself. And I've been hearing, like, a lot recently about kind of just, like, a service mentality to your friends. I think it's, like, the type of energy where, you may be the type of person who you hear your friend's sick and you bring them soup, or you're always, like, going out of your way to pick things up for your friends, or, like, you always get them birthday presents. But maybe in the past, like, people have not reciprocated that. They haven't gotten you presents. Like, you've been sick and there's nobody's been around to really, like, take care of you. And I think the people that are coming in and coming around you and will be attracted to this new energy have a very similar mindset and mentality to what you do, like how you view relationships and how you view friendships and the way we should be treating each other and interacting. And I even see this kind of, like, in romantic relationship, like, whatever gender identity you are, like, being treated like royalty, being of service. We need to treat each other like royalty and be of service to each other. Like, that's a healthy relationship. One person isn't above the other. One person does not, does not inherently deserve to be treated better than they're willing to treat the other person. And I think that's going to be really important for you because you got a cup coming in, it's coming out of some clouds. And I feel like the next cup that comes for you that you accept because part of this energy is declining some things, right? Like, it might not be the first offer you get, but it's the first offer that you are willing to accept is going to be something that is in that energy and aligned with you. And that's the part that's like really, really beautiful, is, you know, learning to have that discernment and learning to have that standard for yourself, because you truly deserve it. And Spirit wants you to know, like, you are a phenomenal, beautiful person and you deserve it. So this is all I have for you. This was a super beautiful reading. Thank you so much for coming and bringing your energy and hanging out with me. If this resonated, you know, I hope you'll like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. Above all, keep your little heart safe, and I hope I'll see you in another reading soon. Okay,